All right, next up, we're talking weddings. So this past year, some of the top trends that we saw were kind of those punchy pastels, those pops of pattern, and the return of the disco ball.
Okay, so here we are, inch into 2024. So what will the new year bring? Matthew Trettel from Wedding Eyes joins us now, talking all things wedding trends, things to expect maybe if you are getting married or if you're going to a wedding this year.
Exactly. We're here to talk fashion specifically on the front part. And
yeah.
Super excited because our Unveiled show is like the ultimate fashion show.
Okay, yeah, so tell us about Unveiled. What is it?
So Unveiled is the ultimate wedding planning event. We're doing something a little different this year. We're moving it to a Thursday evening, so it's going to be a little bit more luxe, champagne, hors d'oeuvres, amazing fashion show. Being able to show couples what a wedding can look like kind of in the evening. Normally our shows have always been a Sunday afternoon, and now we can actually showcase some really fun trends that couples can see in person at the event as they would in their own wedding reception, which generally take place in the evenings.
Okay.
You know, that's smart when you think about it. Okay, so we couldn't help but notice behind us here are some gorgeous gowns, and you know, people are interested to know what the trend is in the wedding gowns, and we brought we're going to start from this direction.
Yeah, we'll start with a lovely
cool
blush dress. So we're super fortunate. Chelsea from Mode House is an amazing designer, and she actually makes these dresses as well.
Local designer.
Local designer, yep, she has a local studio. I love the blush dress. What's really fun is she does dresses also as separates. So this amazing dress, you could actually do it as pants as well. It's the amazing thing about having a designer, because she can customize the pieces. But I love the beautiful feathers.
Oh yeah.
The sleeves are removable, so are the cape. So kind of that kind of separate component concept is really, really popular.
And I don't know if this is still common, but you know, after the wedding, then sometimes there's, you know, people are dancing, and some people dress and go into a different dress altogether, or some brides, and here you can just basically make it look a little different.
Yeah, modify the dress you have. Instead of getting two dresses, this is much more economical. Go with a designer gown and have modifications that happen throughout the course. Because you could think of for the ceremony itself, you wear the cape. For the cocktail hour, you could actually put the sleeves on. Then you could do pants for the reception. Would be super fun.
Awesome. We always talk, obviously the bride, you know, they always stand out, but that's a showstopper.
Right, when that walks down the aisle, yeah, that's like the runway, right?
That is so cool.
Yeah.
All right, next up here we have, just behind us, this is beautiful too.
Yeah, so
a little bit more traditional-ish.
Definitely more traditional, but removable.
Oh, look at that.
Look at the beautiful, beautiful pearls.
The tulle is just really soft.
So lovely, lovely look. Love also the box pleating is really beautiful.
Oh,
and just really simple too. I feel like there's one extreme or the other. There's the brides that want to have everything and be really, really more ostentatious, and then there's the brides that are looking for something simple but then have a little detail to them.
Yeah, a little classic but detail.
And speaking of classic, I love a high neck. It's such a great look, and these sleeves are amazing.
And I mean, just the beautiful buttons here, and you're talking about detail.
Yeah.
You know, the sequins, the
beautiful lace,
pearls in some cases,
and of course, because Chelsea
it.
does such an amazing job. Look at this.
Look at that! I love
Isn't that a fun reveal? Great.
Oh, that's
slip.
a great reveal. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. Truly,
that is cool.
That is a beautiful dress and a beautiful wedding gown.
Okay, so these are the wedding gowns. What are you going to see for bridesmaids? What are the trends that you're seeing?
So we're seeing color again, too, which is really fun. We have a bridesmaids gallery at the show, which is really fun as well. Unveiled is really about a lot of inspiration. So we have galleries in stationery, in bridal gowns, in men's formal wear. There's lots of just different ideas at the show, in addition to all the vendors that are there.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the men too. I think we, you know, I mean, this is way more fun than like a tux, but you know, they've got to get dressed too. So very cool.
All right. Well, Matthew's going to stick around. Up next, what couples can expect at the Unveiled event, especially when it comes to like the table settings?
Yeah, other things. There's more than just the fashion.
There is.
We'll be right back.
So much.
This is Fox 9 Good Day.
All right, welcome back. Maybe you unwrapped something shiny under the Christmas tree this year. You are not alone.
According to Wedding Wire, December is the top month in the U.S. to get engaged. As the excitement swirls, the next step, of course, is planning the actual wedding. And Matthew Trettel joins us once again from the Wedding Guys. We're talking about the top trends for weddings in 2024. We just talked about the gowns, which are gorgeous and made by a local designer. But now let's, what else are we going to find at a wedding besides, of course, the gowns?
So the reception is the other big piece where people are really showing their style. And so thinking about what's happening in the tabletop, the floral, all of those pieces kind of coming together to create a look and basically creating that Instagrammable moment. And so one of the things that we do at Unveiled is create what we call the trend wedding experience, which is an opportunity for couples to see what we have curated as some of the latest trends in a ceremony and a reception that they can walk through. Kind of an immersive experience.
Do you find when people come to this event or any of the bridal shows, do they come in with a plan, or are they coming in? I mean, or is it kind of every couple is different?
You know, every couple is different. A lot of couples will come to multiple shows. At the very beginning, they're looking for probably their photographer and their reception site. They're maybe, you know, kicking the tires on a few other services, but they're not quite ready to probably make decisions on maybe invitations or flowers. So they might come to a second show and ascertain those specific services.
Okay. You said like kind of moody color palette will be in here in 2024?
Which is super fun. So we're doing a concept called Celestial, and it's very of the stars and moon, and really kind of cool with some kind of midnight blues, which will be really fun. You can do so many things with different motifs, and when you think about a theme, I feel like it's more like creating something that is evocative of a feeling versus being so literal. So yeah, we might use a moon in a concept, but it's more about the other aspects that we're bringing in, the colors and the palette and some of those things to really make the feeling.
Sure, maybe a starting off point kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, speaking of starting off points, let's say you were recently engaged, because we said this is a very popular time. What advice do you have for people who are just at the very beginning stages of planning a wedding?
So really you need to determine kind of your budget range. Nobody's going to know exactly how much their wedding is going to cost because they haven't done this before. And so it's really great, I think, to utilize the shows to do some fact finding as well. Because most couples haven't planned a reception or don't know how much flowers are, it's really helpful to kind of use the vendors at the show as a resource and a guide, because they're going to be able to give the best advice on how to do this. They do these weddings all the time, and they really are a really valuable resource. And so a lot of times people think about coming to the show and booking their vendors, but it's also an education process as well.
Sure, kind of getting a ballpark of what are we looking at here.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I understand some venues are already booked into 2024 and probably even 2025, which is kind of wild.
It is kind of crazy, but the trend now is for couples actually to have a longer engagement again, because prices have increased. We've seen people saving up and they really don't want to necessarily go into debt for their wedding. And so by having more of a delayed or longer engagement period, that allows them to kind of select their venue and kind of go through the process in a little bit more orderly fashion, which was evocative of like 10 years ago. That was pretty common for people to have a 12 or 18 month engagement period.
A question, so during COVID we know things changed as far as fall became a popular time for weddings. What other days of the week and other months of the year that we wouldn't expect? Are you seeing trends as far as like a Thursday wedding or a Saturday afternoon?
What's really great is COVID did allow for all of those more non-traditional opportunities to present themselves, and couples are still embracing those. People do like to create something that's different. I think a Thursday evening or a Friday evening is a really lovely time to have a wedding. Guests really like it as well, and honestly, it's a little less expensive.
Okay.
I love a Friday night wedding. So, and then you still have the weekend. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
Like,
Yeah.
so like, but obviously
nice.
that works if most people are in town. Matthew, as always,
Matthew.
thank you so much. Good luck with the
having me.
show. We do want to get the information up on the screen talking about the show. If you want to check it out, it's called the Unveiled Bridal Show.
It's coming up next Thursday, January 4th at the Renaissance Minneapolis Hotel. And if you'd like tickets, head to theweddingguys.com. So if you